Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu. I open to your blessing. I open to your love. I open to your blessing. I open to your love. I receive your firm support and lean into your wide embrace. When I walk through your open door, I know the whole world is your face. Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu. I open to your blessing. I open to your love. I open to your blessing. I open to your love. I receive your firm support and lean into your wide embrace. When I walk through your open door, I know the whole world as your face. Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu. I open to your blessing. I open to your love. I open to your blessing. I open to your love. I receive your firm support and lean into your wide embrace. When I walk through your open door, I know the whole world has your face. Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu Avarabah Avtanu. Hello, KZOOMers.
Hey, everybody.
I wanted to
Good to see you.
share that practice that sort of came to me after Yom Kippur, in that. Well, I think maybe we'll do it next week and we can practice it more. But we are at this place of these special time between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. And I remember years ago, I got together with Rabbi David Ingber, and we talked about those 4 days being representing the Yud, He, Vav, He, the 4-letter name of God, the 4-letter unpronounceable name of God. And we decided to lead a retreat. Well, first we led Yom Kippur, and then we were going to lead a retreat to guide people through those 4 days, which we realized were so amazing. And we planned this retreat, and nobody signed up. Nobody signed up, and so we never did it. And so I dropped the whole thing. But I'm remembering as I'm going through these 4 days, and I guess we're at the last of the 4 days. All right, are we here?
Starting tonight.
So tonight and tomorrow.
Tomorrow night starts
and then,
Coda.
yeah. And so, so I want to sort of tune into that, and also tune into that we are at the end of the Song of Songs, and I wanted to share with you this, the idea, we've been through, took a whole year to read and practice this Song of Songs. And so I just want to read this to you because I say the Song of Songs is our great love story. And with all great stories, you might wonder, well, how does it end? I grew up with a bedtime story, a myth, a blueprint for how love was supposed to go, where it was supposed to take me, and that can be summed up with the words, and they lived happily ever after. The last note says, ta-da, the end. And I've always been a sucker for those romantic comedies that warm my heart and lure me with their fantasies of happily ever after. The Song of Songs ends on such a different note. Arthur Wasco calls the Song of Songs a love song for grown-ups. Really. The lover turns to her beloved in the garden and says, "Go, hurry, my beloved, flee, be my gazelle, my young stag, on the mountain of spices." She turns to love, reality, God, the vastness of being, and says, "I will not domesticate you with my concepts. I will not limit you with my convenient definitions. I will not settle for comfort and ease in a small, predictable reality, because I have glimpsed your vastness, your wild immensity, your unfathomable nature. I live at the edge of wilderness, and I'm always playing at that edge. I have a small container garden on my porch, a hummingbird feeder, which Rachmiel takes care of, and a seed block for the woodpeckers, jays, juncos, grosbeaks, and finches that I count as family. A grateful tribe of chipmunks live under my wooden planter boxes. Bears sometimes lumber onto my porch to do their mischief. The seeds of my chives flowers waft off the porch into the ground that surrounds my house, taking root as tufts of delicious food for the deer that wander by. The other day I stood on my porch and stared into the dark eyes of a doe who was leading her 2 young children into those between lands where my chives had spread. For a long, timeless moment we were lost in each other's eyes, and then, quite suddenly, she must have heard those words, "Hurry, flee, be like a gazelle in your swiftness, your wild beauty, run to the mountain of spices." I was so grateful for those moments, and sad to see her go, and happy for her wildness, for in those precious moments she awakened the wild in me. And this is also how the Song of Songs ends, leaving us playing at the edge between our civilized, predictable, constructed, comfort-seeking world and the vast, dangerous mystery that can't be contained, defined, or even fathomed. The Song of Songs asks, what would it mean to live at that edge? So I want our first practice to be this last line of the Song of Songs that is not happily ever after, but something much more profound. And we're speaking to this, to God, to reality, to our lives, to the beloved. And we say, Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi, Al Haray Samim, Al Haray Samim, Al Haray Samim, Al Haray Samim, Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Al
Haray
Samim, Al Haray Samim,
Al Haray
Samim, Al Haray Samim,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi, Al Haray Samim, Al Haray
Samim,
Al Haray Samim, Al Haray Samim, Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi, Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi,
Barak Dodi, Al Haray Samim,
Al Haray Samim,
Al Haray Samim, Dodi.
Barak Dodi.
Barak Dodi.
Barak Dodi.
Barak Dodi. Barak Dodi.
Barak Dodi.
Barak Dodi.
Barak Dodi.
Barak Dodi. Al Haray Bisamim. Al Haray Bisamim. Al Haray Bisamim. Al Haray Bisamim.
So as we feel ourselves at that edge between that civilized, comfortable world and the place of the wild, of the mystery, the unknown vastness, I want to say that Sukkot, which is the holiday that we're preparing for, really exists at that intersection between the wild and the civilized, and so there's something about the sukkah that we build that is both, there's both. It sort of situates itself between, and so we build a little hut. It's and it's open to the wild. It's open to the wind. It's open to the rain. It's open even to the animals that might come by, and so that wild place. And Sukkot is also called Yom Simchatenu, the Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy, and so I wanted this KZOOM to be opening to joy, to exploring what is joy. How do we create this joy that is at that intersection between the tame and the wild, between the civilized and that place and that wild place? How do we live there between? How do we find our joy there when the wild gives us so much uncertainty? So it must mean that our joy is not about just getting comfortable, because the sukkah is not meant to be completely comfortable. But it is, there's a key to our joy there. So I wanted to do some practices of kind of exploring how we find that joy. But first I want to give you a definition that I love of joy, and it comes from this thing called the virtue cards. The virtue cards has this definition of joy that always inspires me. It says, joyfulness is an inner wellspring of peace and happiness. It is beyond ordinary happiness because it is not an occasional emotional reaction to luck or circumstances. It is a deep sense of well-being that fills us with delight and hope. We appreciate the gift of life and savor its richness. We enjoy simple pleasures. We find the humor in things. We allow joy to carry us through the painful times. We take ourselves lightly and remember to play. Mm-hmm. Joy comes when we are being true to a soulful purpose. It gives us an abiding sense that all is well. Joy is the natural state of my soul. Mm-hmm. so I want to take that that definition of joy and say, oh, this is going to be our practice for Sukkot, to find our joy not in the familiar comfort, but in that place that is on the edge, really, and really kind of the place inside us that's going to, even if our sukkah blows down, and it might.
It almost did
It
one
might do
year.
it, yeah. and so even if that happens, the joy is inside us. So the practice that I wanted to do to explore that joy says, those who sow in tears will reap in joyous song. And I like to remember this teaching from Desmond Tutu that says, discovering more joy does not save us from the inevitability of hardship and heartbreak. In fact, we may cry more easily, but we will laugh more easily too. Perhaps we're just more alive. Yet as we discover more joy, we can face suffering in a way that ennobles rather than embitters. We have hardships without becoming hard. We have heartbreak without being broken. So that, that aliveness says that we have to have our tears, and when we allow those tears their fullness, the reward will be more aliveness, which is more joy. So let's find that place of that flowing tear place, and allow those tears to fall on the fertile ground of this community, and to be able to know that every tear of your aliveness is planting the seeds for joy. HaZorim yik'tzoru, And if somebody has the text and wants to put it in the chat for everyone else, that might be helpful. HaZorim berina yik'tzoru, HaZorim berina yik'tzoru, HaZorim HaZorim Bedima Merina yik'tzoru. So pour all of your liveness into the chant. HaZorim Merina close your eyes and bring your attention to the breath. Imagine breathing into the heart and find in the heart this beautiful, fertile ground of the heart. And as those tears fall into the fertile ground of the heart, you know, what sprouts is our aliveness, our true joy. So as you breathe into the heart, you might want to even picture those sprouts for the new year and all the seeds of tears that we've planted in our life, needing our attention and honor so that they can grow into that awareness of the joy which is the natural state of our soul, who we truly are. So, whatever life gives you, is what Brothers David Steindl-Rast explains. Whatever life gives you, you can respond with joy. Joy is the happiness that does not depend on what happens. It is the grateful response to the opportunity that life offers you at this moment. And I always like to imagine that joyful response even to the challenges of life. To have that joyful response of like, oh, I get to rise to this challenge. You know, I get to find within me a resource that I didn't know I had through this challenge. So, you know, and I feel like the challenges of life, you know, that I need my resources to meet the challenges. And what's amazing to me is that often I walk through the world not filling up with the beauty and the blessing that is there for me. And so I wanted to do this practice of filling up as a kind of way of setting a pathway for this new year, to be able to say, I want to fill up, you know, with life, with color, with beauty, with blessing. I want to fill up, and the Psalm 16 says, filling up with the joys of your presence. So God's presence is everywhere, and that Shekhinah is that hidden presence that is everywhere, but we have to uncover it with our awareness. And I find that I can only do that if I slow down a bit. If I slow down a bit, then I can, or I pause often, I can fill up with the joys of God's presence that is hidden in the world. And I can, you know, I can listen to the still small voice. I can open to what's there for me. You know, just before the KZOOM, I went for a hike, and up into the mountains, and then I kind of heard a message to go sit by the river, and I went down and sat near the river and sang, and you know, it's like the more that I slowed down, the more like the presence of God appeared in front of me as this world, and then I could make space in me to receive it. So I think that Sukkot really is about kind of leaving our habitual life, stepping outside to the edge of the wild, and slowing down and receiving the harvest, really. You know, receiving all of the goodness that's there for us. So it feels like a gift. It's such a gift. Sukkot is such a gift that I put my sukkah up.
Last month.
It's been up for a month at least, because like
She loves it.
I love
We-
my
we
sukkah.
loves.
I love my sukkah, and I want to get the most out of it. But sitting out there in the sukkah, and just sort of being away from my computer, my devices, and being out there and slowing myself down.
Although next week we will be KZOOMing from the sukkah. Next Thursday. Yep.
So I want to do this filling up practice, and wherever you are, you can fill up. You can you can look out the window. You can look around even at the. Sometimes I do this with my eyes open, and fill up with all of the beauty that's right there in front of me. And sometimes I look at the squares on this KZOOM, and I fill up with you, God's presence in you, and receive that presence as I'm chanting. So however you'd like to do it, but often it helps me to kind of use my hands as an intention of filling up, and so we can fill up with each other, or we can fill up with what's outside your window, or what's inside your room. So Sova, 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 smachot, Sova, 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 smachot, Sova, smachot, et panecha, Sova, smachot, et panecha, Sova, 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 smachot, Sova, 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 smachot, Sova, smachot, et panecha, Sova, smachot, et panecha, Sova, 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 smachot, Sova, 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 smachot, Sova, smachot, et panecha, Sova, smachot, et panecha. So pick a face on the screen that you can fill up with that face.
Sova, 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 smachot, Sova smachot, Sova smachot, et panecha, Sova smachot, et panecha.
So is there another face that's calling you? See God's presence in that face.
Sova, Sova, Sova smachot, Sova, Sova, Sova smachot, Sova smachot, et panecha, Sova smachot, et panecha.
So let's do something really radical and look at your own face on the screen and see, can you fill up with God's presence that is in your own face?
Sova, Sova, Sova smachot, Sova, Sova, Sova smachot, Sova smachot, et panecha, Sova smachot, et panecha.
And once more for the whole harvest of your life.
Sova, Sova, Sova smachot, Sova, Sova, Sova smachot, Sova smachot, et panecha, Sova smachot, et panecha.
So close your eyes and feel all of that abundance inside. Feel yourself filled up. And out of that fullness, there might be an overflow. And that's what we give each other. We give each other the overflow, and the overflow becomes our service in the world, our work. It all comes from the overflow, and so our commitment is to fill up, and then the overflow happens. And if we don't fill up, then whatever we give is going to burn us out. So that's the commitment for this year, is, I'm going to fill up every day with the blessing, with the beauty, with the love that's there for me.
Oh, just remembered a way to remember that
Yeah.
filling up is, if your outflow exceeds your inflow, then your upkeep will be your downfall. Isn't that a good one?
Did you make that up?
Maybe.
Okay. So, one of the keys to joy is its expression. That the expression of joy is what helps us to kind of fill ourselves and and maintain that place of joy. So, and I've been learning that through my practice of Hallelujah. And God willing, that at one point there'll be a Hallelujah app that we can use.
Willing.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, it will be an app, and so. But I find that when I'm doing the Hallelujah practice, I am singing my joy. I'm taking whatever that fullness is and singing it, and it gets amplified in my expression. And it doesn't matter if you, if your sound is exactly perfect or anything. It's just like the expression moving through you just changes you, who you are. And so this from Psalm 98, it says, "Sing your joy and chant, connect with joy to God, and it says with harp and the sound of chanted praise, but really with everything you got." The idea is like whatever you have, use it for your expression, and that expression will kind of like amplify it. It will come back to you, and then listening, to each other. We also can.
This is.
This one. So let's chant this and find the expression in your tone of voice, in your body. Maybe you might want to move, and see what kind of expression can come forth. Sing your joy. Sing your joy.
Verrananu, Zamru, Verrananu, Zamru, Verrananu, Zamru, Verrananu, Zamru, Zamru leya Vikino, Vikol zimra, Zamru leya Vikino, Vikol zimra, Verrananu, Zamru, Verrananu, Zamru, Verrananu, Zamru, Zamru leya Vikino, Vikol zimra, Zamru leya Vikino, Vikol zimra,
joy be a radiance on your face, and letting it shine out from the deep place of filled upness, fulfillment. And I wanted to, I couldn't help it. I had to put this last chant in there for enjoy. For enjoy. It is an Isaiah chant that says, for enjoy, you will go out in peace, be led across the land. Mountains and hills will burst into song, and the trees of the field will clap their hands. And so you gotta clap, even though it's gonna look like I'm clapping at a different time than you're clapping, but that's okay.
Right.
So, and this word, it has this great word called tuvaluun. That's why I call it my Irish Jewish chant.
Tuvaluun.
Because tuvaluun sounds so Irish to me, and I'm married to an Irish Jew.
Rachmiel Reagan, I'm from Tuvaluun.
From Tuvaluun.
Tuvaluun. In County Cork. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. For in joy will you go out, in peace be led across the land. Mountains and hills will burst into song, and the trees of the field will clap their hands. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. For in joy will you go out, in peace be led across the land. Mountains and hills will burst into song, and the trees of the field will clap their hands. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. For in joy will you go out, in peace be led across the land. Mountains and hills will burst into song, and the trees of the field will clap their hands. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. For in joy will you go out, in peace be led across the land. Mountains and hills will burst into song, and the trees of the field will clap their hands. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. For in joy will you go out, in peace be led across the land. Mountains and hills will burst into song, and the trees of the field will clap their hands. Ki v'simcha teitzeu u'v'shalom tuvaluun. Ki v'simcha teitzeu. V'shalom tuvaluun.
So take a look around the KZOOM
That was fun.
room, and to be able to beam a little joy to everybody here. Beam a little joy.
And receiving the beaming.
The
yeah.
beam.
Beaming
Receive
and
the beam.
receiving.
Hopefully we'll be in the sukkah next week, and invite you to go to my website and give a little donation in honor of what you have received. Take a look at the schedule. There is a Soul Lift Love at the Center retreat happening the end of January. I think I have 12 people signed up so far, and it should be pretty wonderful to be in Tampa in the winter time. And I just put together this retreat, a meditation retreat for next summer, August 15th to 20th. If you want to put it on your calendar, that I'm going to be doing in Minnesota. That I'm excited about Dveikut. Dveikut, the practice of Dveikut, God consciousness imbued with love. That will be kind of a meditation retreat if you're interested in that.